Hi everyone. For this video, I'm going to be going over MLA paper formatting. I'm going to show you some examples, and then I'll briefly show you how to change your paper to be formatted according to MLA style. One thing to note is that MLA formatting will most likely not be used in all of your classes. Every major or discipline of study tends to have its own formatting requirements, and your instructor should tell you what they are. If not, you should definitely ask. However, many of the formatting in these styles is similar regardless of which style your instructor chooses. Um, and things like Times New Roman, 12-point font, 1-inch margins, double spacing, and so on are all common regardless of formatting expectations. So for this PowerPoint, I'm going to be going over the basic requirements for your paper, which is due today, and how to format that paper correctly according to kind of basic MLA style and conventions, and just kind of normal paper formatting conventions. So, okay, so the basic requirements for most papers, and for this paper and for MLA. So how I want you to format your paper is it should be in 12-point font. It should be double spaced. So double spaced only, with no weird spacing, no spacing in between, no like extra spaces in between paragraphs. So nothing like that, please. What else? There should be 1-inch margins. The name, date, instructor, and course number should be at the top. So as you can see here, this is an example of a page from Purdue OWL, the Purdue Online Writing and Learning Center, which I will put a link to online. And this is kind of just an example of a good first page. So I'm going to give you another example of a first page. So this is an example from Basic English 101 course. It has a title. It's spaced appropriately. The font looks good, and then name, professor, course number, and date. And then the margins are 1-inch, and the writer's last name and the page numbers are up in the right-hand corner. Okay, so now I'm going to take you to the Purdue OWL. So I'm going to put this link in the description on Canvas. So this is a link, and I'm just going to switch over 1 second. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to share this screen with you. Let me just make sure that it's coming up. Okay. Okay, so this is a really good comprehensive guide for basic all of your formatting needs and all of your writing needs. And this site basically has everything you could ever want to know about college writing. So, as I said before, some different disciplines, some areas and majors use different style guides. This one single site has guides to all of those. So you'll see Chicago, which is used in like newspapers and some things. APA, which is used in like the social sciences. There's a whole bunch of them. AMA, ASA, so things that are used in in medical fields or things like, or the sciences, or things like that. So there's guides to everything. More or less, these kind of formatting things will be the same, because this is kind of the basic. So where it changes is when you're actually citing a article or a paper or a newspaper article or something like that, or a website or a film or whatever you're citing, whatever you're using as evidence. That's where it kind of changes, because they have different rules on how you should include the sources in order to make them searchable and findable by the professor. But these kind of basic things are the same. So you go to MLA, you can go to the style introduction, which is right here. It gives you an overview, workshop, and then something that's really useful is, so the formatting and style guide. It'll give you everything you'll need to know. So for this paper, we're not citing anything, but in the future, we will be writing a research paper, and I'll require you to add citations and use outside sources and things like that. So this is basically how to do all of that. So in-text citations, how to quote something or paraphrase or summarize, how to make a works cited page. It'll give you an example of all that. So you can usually just copy it. And I'll show you a whole bunch of tricks later on in the course for that. And then there's a sample paper, which is useful, and where I got the previous image from. So this is a sample paper. You can download it. It has everything. It has like section breaks and and works cited pages, and so we won't really need any of that right now, but it's useful to know, and it'll be useful for the future. But this is their sample page. And yeah, you should just be able to copy or mimic the formatting. If you don't know how to do that, I'm actually going to show you right now. I'm just going to do it real quick. We could do it together. And I'll just show you how to actually change a page, a rating assignment or essay, so it looks like what will be expected. So, okay, so right here, this is a sample paper, which I'm actually going to put as optional reading. I'll put it either Tuesday or Thursday, but basically we'll just do it together. So what you want to do is you highlight the thing. See, like, as you can see, this is a mess. So you highlight all of the text. So you just go up here. Make this bigger. So you go up here. You'll change it to 12-point font. You'll change it to Times New Roman. So what do we need now? We need double space. So you do like a right click, or if you're using a Mac, control click. You go to paragraphing. So you'll go to double spacing. Make sure after is 0. Please don't make it auto, because then it like does a weird double, like quadruple space, I guess, between paragraphs. So just double. And actually, I'll have you go to the line and page break section. This isn't like a huge deal, but it does make it look a little bit better. If you take off the widow orphan control, it just makes it so paragraphs will kind of stick together and not be broken up when the page breaks. It's not a big deal, but double space, only double space, that's important. And then spacing after 0, 0 point. Okay, so that'll change that. And then, all right, so for MLA, you don't want this in bold, but what you do want is it centered. So you're going to center this. So you click on right here. And actually this font, the coloring looks weird. So you'll just make sure that it's in black. And then, so for here, this writer had used a double space between paragraphs. I'm going to ask you not to do that. So if you just indent rather than do that. So just indent all your paragraphs. Is this a new paragraph? Okay. No, that was not a new paragraph. Okay. All right. So yeah, just press tab for this and just do like half an inch. Move it half an inch over for each new paragraph. So do that for each one. That should be it. All right, so obviously this is a really long one. It's longer than what I asked you to do, so don't worry about that. So here you put your name, then you put my name. You can put doctor or professor, either one, it's up to you. And then you can put English 1101 and then the date. So you'll be turning it in on the 8th. So you just put that. Okay, so all right, there's an extra space here. You want to get rid of that. And then you'll want to do page number. So you should be able to just double click on the top, on the header, just double click. And then you can go up here, click page numbers. So page numbers on the right, and then just double click next to it, write your last name. And so this is in Calibri. So you change it to Times New Roman. That's not a huge deal. But yeah, it'd be good if it could all be in the same font. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. So okay, so you'll check the margins. Where are the margins? Okay, layout, margins, normal. So normal is 1 inch margins. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So other than that, you'll want an interesting title. So okay, so an interesting title. So basically, this is what your paper should look like. So we're not going to worry about citations or anything like that at this point. But this is the basic MLA formatting expectations. And this is what it should look like when you turn it in. Okay, so that's it for today. Thank you all for watching, and I look forward to reading all of your papers.